This is not a joke, the Fed just shook the market. Hey there, pretty people who make money. Bitcoin hit a brand new high point. Are we ready for the fruit area? When will people start putting money into altcoins? We're going to talk about Shiba Inus and other things. I only ask that you smile at me so that I can spread good vibes. Hit that like button hard. And let's do it. The Shake of Shiba. Now that the Fed has made this choice public, Bitcoin is worth 76,173. There was some selling going on here. It was all over the market. Shiba Inu is also shown here at 1.888, which is down about 1% for the day. Shiba Inu is pretty much doing the same thing as everyone else in the market. Ethereum is up 5% today and Sol is up almost 5%. These are some of the bigger assets that are going up. The market is now up about 1.7%. But today is mostly bumpy, especially for altcoins. We'll talk about that soon. I have no idea why altcoins are acting that way, but you can see that it's not smooth. It goes down and up, down and up, down and up. That's pretty much what's been going on for the last few hours leading up to the FOMC meeting. What did they decide? Basically what was thought to happen. The US interest rate choice at 475 was at 5 before. The rate was cut by 25 basis points, which is pretty much what he said. The choice will be made soon. I'm beginning this a little early. Today I don't feel so good. This could be the last movie of the day. The Fed lowers interest rates by 25 basis points, which is the second cut of 2024. It was a majority vote to cut the rate by 25 basis points. The Fed people all agreed on that. As conditions have generally gotten better, the Fed says that risk 2 goals stay roughly the same. The Federal Reserve stops having faith that inflation will go down to 2%. They take that away. I think they know that shouldn't be seen as a make it or break it moment, right? We expect the Fed to keep lowering its balance sheet, and in December we expect another 25 basis point cut. The fact that they're continuing to shrink the balance sheet instead of growing it may have caused the market to drop a little. This is called quantum tightening. If they had spent money, it might have been good for the cryptocurrency market. But since they said they would be tightening, it's not good for Bitcoin or altcoins. I believe this is the reason for the slight drop in price, but the days of the FOMC meetings are always very tough and the decisions are always very hard. You know that every day I can make the movie and it's pumping, and then an hour later when he talks it dumps, or you can see the exact opposite. It drops and then it pumps when he talks. It's a tough day. And I think a lot of pressure will go away after today. Anyway, if we take a look, Bitcoin is almost ready to move into the parabolic upside part of the green cycle. We're almost there. That being said, this has been talked about. November has always been a very good month, so people are looking forward to it. It was here for me. Please. This is how I'll do it. Time for technical problems. Yes, that's it. In that sense, it's been a very good month. We've had 40% months and 50% months here. There have been 30% drops, but you can see that the average is 43. The average is a little off because of the 449 that happened in 2013. The middle number, on the other hand, is 7.89. Yes, November has been a good month for years, right? So 2020, 2016 was also fine. It was cool that 2017 was the year after, right? That sounds a lot like 2021, which is interesting. Not very good for Bitcoin. That's so cool. In other words, it doesn't matter what month it is or what time it is. Did you remember that we talked a lot about October? It was a good month, but not as exciting as some people thought it would be. That's why I chose to, just go with the flow and see what happens in the crypto market. After that, we'll be able to see where we're going. There are talks about 100,000 in November and 100,000 by January. Oh, shwe shwe, small, small. Because something that's making new highs is a new thing, let's break through these next levels of obstacles. That's why there aren't really any resistance stages or short walls. That means there are no levels you were at before. And when that happens, the numbers become the previous all-time high to help the mind. Also the round numbers. That means you could have 77,000, 78,000, or 79,000, right? 80,000 or the half, which is about 77 and a half. Okay. In other words, those are the numbers that people will use to set their stop losses. This is sometimes also connected to things like where we are on the signs, the stochastic full, the white coughs, and so on. There are times when that changes where we stop and where the new high is. Also, that's something important to think about when you look at the market in the next few days or weeks when it might go up. Take note of the fact that this is how the circle usually goes, right? As money comes in, it will first go into Bitcoin, then large caps, then mid caps, then low caps, and so on. People will then cycle the money back into Bitcoin and then back into cash, right? And we've already talked about this, but this level is going to be a lot bigger than it would have been if it were a hat, right? The only problem with all the money that's coming into Bitcoin ETFs is that a lot of it is going to stay there or move into stocks. Okay. But let's hope that the normal Bitcoin that we have now will turn into the big caps, more money than they would have had in the past. But just because we saw the new all-time high in March doesn't mean it will happen again. From a price point of view, it kind of moved in line. It's a little hard to understand. On the one hand, you think, oh, this time it will be a little different, but when things got tough, it behaved pretty much like a cycle. A little off, but mostly on the right track. At the end of the day, it kind of started the movement here and making new highs right in that zone. There were some asterisks, like the fact that the high came before the half. In that case, what happened in March could be seen as the exception and what's happening now as the norm, right? So it will be interesting to see how everything turns out. Oh, of course not. Before you decide to spend, you should always do your own research. Don't forget to hit the like button and click on the links in the description. Thanks for seeing it. As always, I look forward to seeing you again. Let's make a lot of money.